Hello friends, and welcome back to Enterprise Architecture. Now, last episode we dove even further into Mekanism, setting up a bunch of new reactors for us to generate more power, and more importantly, to generate polonium. Today, hopefully we can continue on our Mekanism quest and get this quest line wrapped up with any luck. So, with no further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so this reactor is going awfully slow for us. I thought it would have been producing a lot more polonium more quickly here, but you know, we're only getting 1 millibucket every couple of seconds. So that's less than ideal. The other thing that's weird, and hey, leave me a comment if you know how to fix this, the Evertide amulet is not keeping this topped up. It keeps dropping into the bottom slot here randomly, and then the water level will drop significantly when that happens. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I thought that the Evertide amulet is supposed to keep that topped up. It looks like right now it's keeping it topped up, but occasionally it drops, so something's weird there. Now, on to the main quest line. We need to take that polonium and use it for something. I think it's to make the polonium pellet, that's right. But for that we need fluorite dust. And to get fluorite dust first, we need to get ourselves some fluorite. And for that we are gonna need apatite. So let's go ahead and grab some apatite out of our system. Apatite, there we go. And we will take this and throw it into one of these containers. I don't remember which one it is. It looks like, yeah, this one, whatever that is, that's gonna give us fluorite. So let's go ahead and teach that to our system. Again, in traditional Mekanism, this is gonna be much more difficult for us than what we're doing here right now, but I like it when things are easy. And then we can come back over here to our other pressurized reaction chamber, which is going to be converting this polonium into the polonium pellets. I'm just going to reset this up real quick. We do want to disconnect that pipe, but we want to pull out from here. So that should get the nuclear waste into this. There we go, and turn that into polonium. Excuse me, the nuclear waste is being processed from here, turned into polonium, and that's going to then pull this out. That's what we want to see. But I need to set up an exporter. So let's do an exporter here. And we need to also probably grab up a cable. I think that we're short on cabling. Let's do that. And the exporter is going to give us our fluorite into this PRC. Oh, it looks like I don't need a cable. Okay, that's fine. We're going to do items. Looks like we can already input items from the back. So that's fine, and then this, we do want to tell that it needs to export fluorite into this. Right, we don't need fluorite, we need crushed fluorite. So let's go ahead and grab our fluorite back out of here, and then we will make the crushed fluorite, which is the fluorite dust, I guess actually it's called, in our crusher. Let's go ahead and, no, we don't want to rotate that, we want to put fluorite into it. There we go, there's our fluorite dust. This has an EMC value, that's what we like to see. Let's grab some of that back out here. Just like this, we will grab a stack for now. And I think since we already know about it, all we have to do is tell our exporter to export fluorite dust, not our fluorite crystals. Yeah, there we go. And this is automatically creating that. So very shortly, this should then turn the polonium into our polonium pellets. All right, and there we go. Our polonium pellets have been made. The only thing we need to do now is to put an importer on the bottom of this, and then just connect this back up to our system just like this. Okay, that should work. And now, with any luck, the polonium should have been pulled back out. It has not yet. Is that because we haven't told it that it should output to the bottom? Let's auto eject to the bottom. There we go. So polonium is done. Let's go ahead and fix our little spot there. And now we should be able to get polonium pellets back out on the other end of our system here. So let's change this and grab polonium. There we go. Back out. And the good news is, the best news is, polonium is, of course, EMC-able, so we probably don't need to ever do this again, which I really appreciate. With our polonium, that really only leaves two other things left to do in this quest line. We need to create a supercritical phase shifter. All right, so we need to make the SPS casings and the SPS ports for this, and this pack has thrown us yet another loop here. The SPS casings can only be made with plutonium pellets can only be made with plutonium, and of course, plutonium is made from nuclear waste, which we are manufacturing very, very slowly. And we can't EMC any of this. So I need to build ourselves an isotropic centrifuge. No, we don't have any in here. That's right, we haven't made it yet. I can type today, I swear I can. Tropic centrifuge, there we go. Okay, so we need to make one of these. I think we have everything we need for that, we do. All right, so to make plutonium, we need to actually use our nuclear waste. And actually, I didn't need to put that pipe there. Let's get rid of this one here. There we go, and we don't actually want to put it into our solar neutron activator anymore. That means instead we want to put it into our isotropic centrifuge. So let's go ahead and put this down over here as an alternative. There we go. Now it's getting nuclear waste, and there we go. It is turning it into plutonium. We then use that in a pressurized reaction chamber to make ourselves our lovely plutonium. So let's see here. Did I remember to make this pressurized reaction chamber? I did. I definitely did. That can go there, and it's basically exactly the same setup as on the other side, so that's easy enough for us. Put that on top like that. Oh, you know what? I think that the plutonium might need to be told that it can output, so let's go ahead and grab our gases, and we want this to output on the front and auto eject. There we go. And with any luck, if we tell this to pull, this then should start getting in here as soon as we tell it that it needs to input on top. Yeah, it's already doing that. Okay, great. And there we can see we are already getting the plutonium in here. How much do we actually need to make our plutonium pellet? Let's check here. We need 1,000 millibuckets. All right, so that's going to take us a little while. While we are waiting on that, let's pop down here, one level down, and go ahead and set up our fluorite to export into that as well. There's our exporter getting our fluorite dust, and with any luck, this PRC should now start getting that in. Again, we just need to tell it that items can be input from the back. There we go. Fluorite dust coming in just as we want. And now we just have to hang out and wait for the plutonium to finish doing the plutonium thing. All right, friends, we are getting towards the end of this pack, so I'm going to do something we don't very often do. Pretty much this only ever comes up when we're dealing with nuclear isotopes in any of our packs. That is cheating. We have this set up to automate plutonium into plutonium pellets, but at the current rate of production, it's going to take us something in the neighborhood of 15 hours to get there. That's not something I have time for. I absolutely can't do that right now. So what we are going to do is we are going to shamelessly cheat. We need plutonium pellets, and we need a lot of them. It looks like, based on what I am seeing here, we need at least 60 of them, and then the SPS port means we need another 24. So that's 84 all day, I believe, for this. Do we need this for the supercharged coil as well? Let's see here. No, we only need polonium. That's not a problem. Okay, so we need to give ourselves 84 plutonium pellets. All right, so there we go. We have now cheated. I'm just trying to be upfront about the point that we have cheated. The other thing we need to do here is I didn't realize that the HDPE sheets actually can be generated in our system as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that in advance of making this. So let's go ahead and make ourselves up our 84 of these casings. There we go, 84 of those. Let's go ahead and make ourselves up our SPS ports that we had talked about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Now we can make ourselves our 6 supercharged coils. And what are we missing for that? We're missing some lasers. We can make 6 lasers, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And with that, we can make ourselves 6 supercharged coils. Great. So we've got those all done. What are we still missing for this quest? 100 reactor glass. Easy enough. So let's go here, reactor glass. It's this one. All right. 2 stacks is more than enough for what we need, and now we should have everything we need to make the supercritical phase shifter. So let's see if I can remember how to make a supercritical phase shifter. I have not made one in at least a year, probably more here, but I think the recipe is relatively straightforward if I remember correctly. We basically just surround this in the casings here, and I think that is correct. Oh, you know what? I think it's 3 on each side like this. Yeah, this is the way this goes. There we go. And then around that, we need to put our regular casings here, the SPS casings. Let's grab those right here. And I think this just kind of goes around in like this sort of a pattern. Something like this, I think, is how this is going to work for us. Okay, so this is the bottom layer. Then the next layer, I believe, is built off of that with windows, I think. I think it's exactly this same pattern, and those are the edges, right? So I think it works like this. And then, of course, we put our SPS port on that side. All right, now the moment of truth. Let's see if I did this right in the first try. I did. Okay, wonderful. And you can see that I put the supercharged coils on the inside of each of these SPS ports, which is how you end up doing this. So this is going to be how we are going to be making our antimatter. All right, we have connected this up to where our polonium gas output is coming from. I also redid the inside of our reactor so that it's basically 90% fuel rods at this point. So we only have a little bit of edge there for steam to be collected from the water cooling there. This is pretty much all fuel rods. So hopefully that's going to burn fuel at the maximum possible rate. That is the goal here. Now, this also is going to need a ridiculously large amount of power, 400 MFE per tick. So I think we can handle that by putting flux points on all of the other sides, except for the one where we are going to be outputting our items, which will be out the bottom here. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch more flux points real quick. Yeah, this is the one. We'll do 4 of those. I think that will be plenty if we turn off the limiting here. So let's go ahead and grab this. And of course, we are going to bypass the limit. There we go. While we are waiting for that, let's go ahead and make our 36 nitro reactor blocks so we can make the nitro reactor. That'll be yet another source of power for us here, but I think we can do this really easily here now that we have EMC'd everything else in this list. Come on, let's do that again. You've got it. There we go. So we just need 36 of these blocks, just like that. Great. And now I believe this is self-building, if I remember correctly. So we should be able to put this down somewhere over here, and it should just do the thing. There we go. Slowly but surely, it is filling in. There we go. And now we have a reactor. All right, I went ahead and moved our reactor over here so that I could actually get water off of our main storage tank for it. And also I'm going to throw an exporter on here like so. That way we can keep it topped up with all of the fuel that it needs. Let's just wire it into our system there. Wonderful. So it's already getting water. That's good. Now, the main thing that we need to add to this here, if I go and consult the book on it, I believe is going to be redstone and coal. Let's see here. Oh, and uranite as well. So we just need to make sure that those are being inserted in there. So let's grab those out of our transmutation tablet real quick. Coal. There we go. Uranite. There we go. And redstone. Perfect. Now I think we can insert all of these through the same port. I'm not positive. We will find out really quick. There we go, and it looks like we're getting about 300k per tick. So we still don't quite yet have our additional polonium turned into antimatter yet. So this is taking a really, really long time. I even tried using a watch of flowing time to try and speed up the process, but again, no luck there. It's only barely crawling along still. So as a project for us to kill some time here, I'm going to build us a couple of thermal evaporation plants here. So these are relatively straightforward. They're made up of these copper blocks wrapped in steel. That's how we get a thermal evaporation block. Let's go ahead and teach that to our system there. We're going to need a whole boatload of these momentarily. We're also going to go ahead and make ourselves a valve. And we are going to make ourselves the controller, which is the key piece of this to be able to actually operate it. And now we're going to give ourselves a boatload of thermal evaporation blocks. We don't need that many controllers. We only need, I think 2 controllers for now is going to suffice for us. And let's grab, I think 6 valves should be plenty for what we're going to do. But let me give myself a few more evaporation blocks just to be safe. Now, if you have not made these, what we're going to be doing is first converting water into brine in the first tank, and then brine into sodium in the second tank. So let's just come over here just on the other side of our power pipe there that we've got, and we're going to make a 4x4 base, just like that. And I believe they've updated the recipe on this that you can put the actual evaporation chamber on the bottom. And I don't think this requires solar panels anymore, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. But we are going to put ourselves a valve over there, and we're going to put ourselves a valve over here for now. You know what? I think this also can take heat. Is there any other mechanism thermal valves or anything? I think I'll put a third valve on this just because we might want to put a heat generator on the back. I can't remember if that'll work or not. So then we just frame this in as a circle, and we do that on each of these. I'm going to make 2 of them to start. And I'm going to make them basically identical. They're just going to be basically flipped backwards from each other. Now, we need to build up with these, so I think what we're going to end up doing, I think we have to go, well, we can go up to 18 high. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I think maybe 17 is the max. We'll start there, and we will see if this completes. If it is done properly, we should get those red sparks. Alright, so 18 high seems to work just fine for this. Now all we have to do is add a source of water here, and I think, again, in this case, an aqueous accumulator should be absolutely fine. Alright, we've thrown down our aqueous accumulator. We're going to use our diamond bucket here real quick to just fill this up, just like so. Let's throw in a critical component in here, the pristine integral components, in fact, and then we'll put some fluid pipes on top of this and connect it up. Then we just need to configure this to pull, and let's go ahead and throw in our ultimate pipe upgrade in here so we're getting a boatload of water very, very quickly. And it looks like I missed a square here. There we go, perfect. Infinite water source, good to go. Filling up with water very quickly on this side. Temperatures looking pretty okay. And we will, of course, then be exporting this into here so that our brine can be turned into lithium. Let's just go ahead and grab that like so. Now, I think what we need is a heat generator of some sort, and I think Mekanism comes with one of those. So let's see here. Resistive heater, is that the one? Yeah, I think it's the resistive heater, if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and build one of those real fast. Perfect. And I think this is going to heat everything up for us. The one thing we're missing here is we don't have a heat pipe. I need some sort of heat transfer pipe. And of course, Mekanism does come with one of those. It comes with these thermodynamic conductors. So we're going to make some of these up real quick here. We're just going to go ahead and go all the way to the highest tier of that real fast. Come on, you can do it. There we go, elite, and last we will do the ultimates. Perfect. And these we will, of course, teach to our system just like that. And let's go ahead and see if this resistive heater does what I think it does. If I remember correctly, this should work. It's been a little while. we're just going to put our heat pipes along the back here, just like that. And then our resistive heater, I believe, can go right on there. And it's just needing to get some power out of the bottom. That seems to be working. All right, so it looks like I was wrong here. Apparently this does indeed need to have the solar panels on top for this to actually start generating and heating up properly. For whatever reason, I cannot get this resistive heater to work. I've got power. Oh, do I not have power? Oh, well, that would explain it, wouldn't it? All right, so I've got our resistive heater turned on and cranked up. I don't think it even needs to be up to 1,000. I think we can drop that considerably down there to 1 kFE per tick. And yeah, this temperature is just going absolutely wild. We're making more brine than we actually need here. This then, it should also be, in theory, making lithium as soon as I turn this valve open. Let's go ahead and pull out of there into here. Slowly but surely we're getting brine in, and again, maybe let's go get another one of those fluid upgrades. Advanced, what do you call it? Pipe upgrades? Ultimate pipe upgrade. That's the one. Okay, so let's put this in there, and that should start pulling out really quick here. And there we go. We are all the way full up on liquid lithium. Now all we have to do is turn our lithium into something more useful, which in this case is going to be our lithium dust. So let's remove all of these things. We are going to need to make lithium dust for one of these cells, I think. Yeah, there we go, lithium dust. This we need to do in a chemical crystallizer. So let's make up one of those real quick. I think we have everything here. What are we missing? Oh, refined obsidian, right. We talked about this 2 episodes ago. So let's get some refined obsidian dust and some osmium back out. So refined obsidian dust, there we go. And some osmium, just like that. And this we should be able to put into our osmium compressor. There we go. That's our refined obsidian ingot that we're looking for. EMC value done and learned. And now we should be able to make this. We can indeed. So throw that into the system. Chemical crystallizer. Great. We do need one other thing. That is the rotary condensator. Yes, that's right. Rotary condensator. Because we do need to change our gas into a liquid and vice versa here. So let's just rotate that. Okay, that should then know which way it's gonna go here. So let's pull the fluid out. Yeah, I think this is the way this is gonna go. And then we need a power port on this as well. Let's go ahead and grab our power. No, energy, flux. Yeah, that's right. Our flux point. There we go. We'll put this right on top of here. There we go. Set it up. And actually, we're going to need another flux point here momentarily. Flux point, let's just grab one more. Perfect. Okay, so this then should start condensating. All right, well, no problem. Let's just throw ourselves a solar panel right on here. Maybe not there. I don't want it there. Let's put it on the back. Just like that. That's going to give us a bunch of power in here. I think if we rotate this around, there we go. That's going to be enough for that to get going. And now we are getting lithium in. Wonderful. The lithium, then I think we can put, let's see, lithium is a gas at this point? Right. So we need to grab a gas pipe. I think just one will do. We're going to put that down right here. We're going to put our chemical crystallizer on the other side of that. And we are going to go, of course, pull our our gas out. There we go. Lithium is coming in there. And yeah, let's go ahead and grab ourselves another solar panel to help that along. Just like that. There we go. That should be all of our power coming in. Lithium is now going to be turned into lithium dust. Just like that. And it looks like our lithium dust is not EMCable. That is a shame, but we only, I think, need 4 pieces of it to get this done. So we're just going to hang out here. Maybe it's 8 pieces, I think. Oh, 8 pieces of this, and then we will have all that we need. So we can just hang out and wait for this. And any second, there we go, 8 pieces of lithium dust. Wonderful. Okay, so with our lithium dust, we now can make our very basic provider, our induction cell and our basic energy provider. So let's do that real quick. Perfect. Just make sure that these are different. Induction provider, induction cell. Okay, wonderful. Again, teaching our system as we go, learning and exploring. And then let's go ahead and make up, it looks like I'm doing this the wrong way. Let's do this one. We need to make the advanced induction cell, and we need to make the advanced induction provider, just like that. We'll teach those to our system. Now, if we did not have Project E, this would be going a whole lot slower for us. I cannot stress enough how painful this is when you do not have Project E to cheat your way through this. And there we go. The last two are ultimate induction cell and ultimate provider. All right, so that should be everything that we need to build a Mekanism multi-block power storage system, the Induction Matrix. So let's go ahead and grab out our ingredients here. Let's grab up a few induction casings. We're going to grab just a couple of induction ports, and then we're going to grab a stack or so, maybe more, of our induction cells and our induction providers. So each of these does something slightly different. The induction provider allows us to actually put energy in and out. That controls the rate of input and output. The induction cell is the storage unit here. So you need a mix of these to make this work. So let's come right over here and let's start ourselves off with a, let's see here, that's 6. Let's do a 7 by 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just to start. All right, there is our 7 by 7 by 7 cube. I'm putting induction ports on the side here, and now inside we can pack this totally full of induction providers as well as induction cells. Now, I just need to check real quick here the speed of which these can transfer. I don't remember how fast the induction providers go, but I think I'm just going to do a row of induction providers on the top and on the bottom, and I think that should be more than enough. In fact, I think just on the bottom should be plenty, if I remember correctly. Way more than I think we're ever going to need here. Let's go ahead and start filling this with induction cells, and this should be, again, more storage than we're ever gonna need here either. There we go, perfect. And just finish out our casing here. Let's see here. I think we removed that one, and then we put our ports here and here. There we go, and there we go. And yeah, looks like it works. 160 TFE. That is a lot. So let's wire up our cables here. In theory, this should start getting our energy in. Yeah, there we go. And it should also be able to have output on multiple ports here. And then we also need another flux provider, the flux plug. Flux plug. There we go, just like that. And we'll put this on here and we will tell it that it can use my network and that there is no limit. Perfect. All right. So this will store any extra power, and this should be plenty of extra power storage for us. We don't even really need this array, I don't think, because Tera is bigger than Gig by a lot. So I might go ahead and want to just like tear this whole thing down. There we go. So our SPS has been going for a while here, and we now have 3 millibuckets of antimatter. So we can finally pull that out. Let's go ahead and make ourselves up a tank. We are going to use a chemical tank for that, and we are going to need some gas pipes as well. Let's grab a few of those. And then we are going to be needing a chemical crystallizer. There we go. Wonderful. Again, we had already made all of this stuff in a previous episode, so we do not have to spend our time crafting today. Okay, let's dump that into our chemical tank there. We'll put down our crystallizer here, and we do need to just configure this tank real quick. We're just going to select the inputs from the top, and we are going to output from the sides. And I don't remember if that's the front or not. It should be the front, but that should be able to eject out the side there. We need to tell this pipe to pull the antimatter out from this port. There we go. And that should have dumped it into here. There's 3. And then all we have to do is tell this to pull from there and dump it into this system, our chemical crystallizer. There we go. Okay. All right, now what we have to do is throw a flux point on top of that. We will configure that, and this now should be getting power and should be good to go. This does present a new problem for us though, and that is the speed at which antimatter is made is astonishingly low. For us to get to 1,000 millibuckets, it's probably gonna take another, I don't wanna know, what, like 30 hours or something? And friends, per usual, I just don't have that kind of time. Now, I went ahead and I did my due diligence. I set everything up for how this would be made, but unfortunately, the mod author of this pack made the classic blunder that you know I hate, which is assuming that people want to sit around and do nothing for hours, and I can't do that. So what we're gonna do instead, I have no other way of making antimatter that I'm aware of. It doesn't look like there's any other recipes here, so we are gonna go ahead and cheat here. Unfortunately, that's the only way around this. So let's go ahead and give ourselves an antimatter pellet antimatter. There we go. I know we're going to need at least one. So let's start with that. That's going to be, there we go, the dunk there. So again, apologies, I don't have another way of doing this in this time frame without hours and hours and hours of sitting on my butt doing nothing. That does mean we are on to the last section of quests though. So with that anticlimactic ending, we are going to go ahead and call that the end of this episode. Next episode, we are going to do as much as we can to close out this pack. It might take one, might take two more episodes to get through all of those ingots that we have to make and the final items, but we're going to make the best attempt we can. So thanks again for watching Enterprise Architecture, and we'll see you back here then. Bye friends!